Shopping for triple orders is the hardest thing that an Instacart shopper will have to do, but this can be made easier by creating and sticking to a routine that would make the process streamlined and much simpler. This routine to keep track of the customer's items will help decrease the amount of time that it takes to check out, decrease the amount of time that it takes to bag the items, and decrease the amount of time that it takes to deliver the order. To make this video a little bit simpler, I've broken down this video into multiple sections, which you can utilize by using the chapters feature at the bottom of the video, or you can just watch through the whole entire video to get all of the information that I'm going to share. When I first got started with Instacart, I would separate the items in the cart by using the cooler bags that I purchased to get approved for long distance deliveries. When I got these bags, I wrote in them A, B, and C, so that way I could open up the bags and put them in the cart, and I would know based off of the lid of the bag which bag was for which customer, and I could keep track of the items really easily this way. The only problem that I encountered with this was the bags would overflow really quickly, and I would have items over top of the bags, and it would just start to cause a mess inside of the cart. After this, I moved on to using a big piece of cardboard to separate the cart into two sections. I did this vertically down the center of the cart rather than doing it horizontally to separate the cart, so that way there was no need to walk all the way around to the side of the cart or anything. I could just reach over the top of the cart and put the items in on the left or the right side, depending on which order the items were for. In a triple batch, I would put the largest order on the left side, the next smallest order on the right side, and then I would put the smallest order on the top where child sits, and if needed, I could put it down below the cart in the basket. The only problem that I encountered with using a piece of cardboard is that it would get damaged easily and it would bend and it wouldn't hold up and be very sturdy. So I started just using gallons of milk, boxes of cereal, cases of cans of soda, packs of soda, or anything like that to separate out the order very easily, so that way I can figure out whose items are whose and create a wall, such as in this photo where you can see how I can make a wall in the cart and I can put all of A's items on the left and all of the next customer's items on the right. I always carry around a Sharpie so that way I can write on the larger items, such as big packs of toilet paper or paper towels, and I can mark them with a 1, an A, or an alpha, so that way no customer thinks that they're customer number 2 or customer number 3, but instead I have this system where every single customer thinks that they're the A customer. Bagging the items is the most important part of the delivery process because this will set you up for your delivery to go very smoothly if done correctly. If I go to a store with a bagger, I make sure that the bagger makes the orders bagged properly and doesn't mix anything up, and then I'll label the bags as I put them in the cart so that way they don't get mixed up. If for some reason the grocery bagger refuses me to bag my groceries, often this makes me have to go back to my car and rebag the items in my car with some of the Aldi's bags that I've purchased and I keep in my car just for this purpose. If I'm doing a double order, then I'll mark one order as A and I'll leave the other bags alone and I won't mark anything on it, so that way there's no B. As I previously mentioned, I don't like to make customers feel like they're not the first customer or like their orders have been mixed in with other people's orders. When putting the items up for checkout or when bagging the items, it's best to start with the order that is the smallest, because this means that there's less items to look for, so you don't have to look for like 50 items and customer B has like 10 items and then customer C has like 3 items. I would start by doing customer C's 3 items and then customer B's 10 items, and then I would check out customer A with the rest of everything in the cart, because at that point I know that all of the items left in the cart are only the last customer's items. This always works out really great, and it really helps with triple orders because there's always one really large order, and it really simplifies the whole process, so that way I'm not looking for 40 items in a cart and mixing everything around and possibly damaging items. It's much more efficient and quicker to do it that way. Next, I would recommend to always go through the list of items and make sure that every single item is in the bag where it should be, because sometimes mistakes happen and for some reason items will end up in the wrong bag. And even notice when I bag things myself, even looking at the app and looking at the order and going item by item, when I bag the order, I still sometimes will accidentally put an item in with another order, and so it's best to check more than once. This really doesn't take much more time than it sounds like it does, and your ratings will definitely improve because of it. I will usually, as I'm going down the list of items, pull the items out of the cart if they're not ready to be put in a bag because they're too light or they're going to be squished or something. And so I will look for every single item and put it off to the side. And then once I find heavier items that can go in the bottom of the bag, then I will bag those and I'll put those lighter items that I've set aside on top of the heavier items so that way they don't get squished. This helps save a lot of time and it reduces the amount of time that you have to spend scrolling up and down on the screen and going through the whole entire list of items. So I would recommend trying that as well. Now, when putting bags into the car to deliver, if you haven't seen my previous video, which I talk about the store not having bags, I also go into detail about how I separate orders in the trunk of my car by using 2 different Apple boxes and then using the leftover space in the back of the trunk or through using my back seat. I put all of A's items on the left side of my trunk, all of B's items on the right side of my trunk, and all of C's in the front or in my back seat. Usually I try to avoid using my back seat because I've had items fall out of bags before and get lost in the back seat of my car, and then those items end up getting marked as missing. It really helps if you mark the bags, as I previously mentioned, just anything that you standardize and you use the same every single time, so that way you're not changing the way that you mark the bags, and so you don't have any confusion when you are delivering the orders. Just figure out what you really like to do and make improvements upon it if necessary, but your system primarily will be the one that works the best for you, and whatever you decide to do is probably the best option, and you don't need to follow somebody else's. If you don't have a marker or anything and you want to separate out the orders, then my advice would be to crumple the top of the bags for A and then neatly fold the bags for B, and then just leave C's order alone and leave those bags in pristine condition. That way you have a visual representative of all of the orders and you don't need to try to figure out the orders when you get there at the delivery location and look through the bags and try to figure out what items are in each bag. If you follow all of these steps, then the picking of the items, the checking out of the items, the bagging of the items, and the delivering of the different orders should be pretty easy. But if you do run into any issues, then just change your system a little bit and try it again. And eventually you'll have something that ends up working for you in the manner that you'd like it to work. I really hope that this video helps, and thank you to Dreadnoughty137 for recommending me make this video. I'm sorry that it's taken so long to get it out. It's been about a month now, but please let me know if this video helps by leaving me a comment down in the comment section below. If you guys have any additional questions, feel free to leave any questions down there as well. And if this video has helped you, give it a big thumbs up. It really helps get this video out to more people, so that way I can help more people in this community. If you guys have any ideas for future topics, please leave them down below as well. I hope that you guys are seeing a lot of batches and getting all of those orders and getting them done and making that money. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.